It's the club, man.
Oh, hello, Laila.
Layla. Welcome
Layla.
aboard. Welcome aboard.
Okay, then. So we'll start the class today. Right now. So yesterday we entered until the grammar for past tense of des. So the next one will be going for the past tense for verb. So usually verbs you have different form, which is it can be like usually for ending the sentence in a formal way, you use the must form, which is maske. The must form. So for example, if you want to say you eat taberu, then you use tabemasu. So of course you use must for the formal way, and it's usually used when you are communicating with people like you don't know or someone higher position than you. So different than your like communicating with your friend, then you can just use the dictionary form for like for example, why is it so? Okay. So for example, the word taberu. So this one is in the dictionary form. Dictionary form. But if you want to change it into a formal form, then you use must. So it becomes tabemasu.
Tabemasu.
So
Sakendemasu.
which is the formal form. So for this grammar, we are learning how to change this must into a past tense form. So the first one would be the affirmative. So of course, we have the normal one, must. And then for the past tense, you just change it to mashita. So for example, for the tabemasu, then you change it to the past tense, it will become tabemashita. I ate. Tabemashita. So that is for the affirmative. But when it comes to negative, so the negative form for must is, this one is masu. Mashita. This one is masen. So the negative form for must will become masen. So for example, the tabemasu will become tabemasen. So, tabemasen. And then for the past tense of the negative form, it will become like masen deshita. It will become masen deshita. Masen deshita. So if it's tabemasu, then it will become tabemasen deshita. Tabemasen deshita. So this is how you change it. But of course, depending on the one that we learned the previous chapter, which is verb conjugation, it'll be different the way you change it to the must form. So so that one you have to be careful. So maybe the first one, dozo kaicho.
どれどれメアリーさんは、9時頃、うちに帰りました。
そうそう。みやりさんは9時頃うちに帰りました。So みやりさんは9時 is?
Clock.
Oh my god. 9 o'clock. So this one is okay. 9時 Oh wait, first I should write the みやりさんは9時頃うちに帰りました。So 9時 is 9 o'clock.
ほい。
ちょっと待って。Goro is the one that we learned. So around. So around or about. Then uchi?
My house.
Uchi, you can call it a house or something.
So,
my house.
So, my house. My house. And then kairimashita is the verb for to go back home or to go back. And in this case, it's past tense. So kairimashita. So it'll become went back. So basically, Mary went returned home or went back home around 9 o'clock. So this one, the kairimashita, the maske is kairimasu. And then the past tense of the affirmative would be kairimashita, which is this one, the one that you're using. But if you want to change it to negative, what will it become?
Kairimasen.
So, and then the negative past tense?
Kairimasen deshita.
So basically, for this one, you just change the back part, the masen part. So that may be the next one, Shadrin, dozo.
Okay, so we have 私は昨日日本語を勉強しませんでした。
そう。私は昨日。私は昨日日本語を勉強しませんでした。そう、私は昨日。What is 昨日？
Yesterday.
そう。Yesterday. 昨日 is yesterday. 日本語 is Japanese language. Japanese. So, 何々語 or this kanji is usually referring to the language. So, it can be like 英語 which is English. Or maybe like マレー語 which is Malay. Marego, which is Malay. So this one is Nihongo, Japanese language. So, を勉強しませんでした. So 勉強します is the verb for to study. So this one is affirmative, 勉強します. So if it's past tense affirmative, then it will become 勉強しました.
勉強しました。
しました。そう。And if it's negative, then 勉強しません, the present tense. And if it's the past tense of negative, then it'll become
勉強しませんでした。
そう。勉強しませんでした. So basically, this is how you change the past tense or the present tense depending on whether it's affirmative or negative.
そう。
どうもありますか? Do you have any questions for this? The past tense verbs.
ありません。
ありません?
I want to ask, hello, okay, for example, right, 勉強しません, right? If we jawab dekat cikgu, for example, is that rude?
I mean, towards the teacher, I mean, if you say that you did not study, then I guess.
Okay, you know what?
Sure.
Never mind. I'll change it. 食べましたか? 食べません. Like that. You know, it's like, is that rude?
Oh, then if it's like 食べましたか?食べませんでした because you know they're asking in the past tense, then actually it's not rude because they're asking have you eat, then you say you haven't eaten yet. So it's not rude actually. So.
Okay.
Or like in case of what you asked, like whether 勉強しませんでした. So it can be a situation where like the teacher asks, did we study this part yet? So you can just say like, まだ勉強してないです。まだ勉強してません. So this one is like you have to use the te form later, which we will learn. So te form. So. Is there any other question? 大丈夫ですか?
大丈夫そうです。
大丈夫ですか?
勉強しません。
勉強しません。Then we'll go for the next one, which is も。何々も、も。So も have the meaning of also, actually. Also. So in lesson 2, in the chapter 2, we actually have learned this grammar more, which is this one. I screenshotted this one more. So in this one is basically the meaning is item A is this, item B is that. It's basically item B is also. So it can be like the meaning of two. Can also means two. So for example, like this one we've already learned, like, which is Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. So Takeshi-san is Nihonjin. Nihonjin is Japanese. And then they want to say Michiko-san. Michiko-san is also Japanese, so they use mo actually. So Michiko-san mo Nihonjin desu. So this is the one that we've learned in chapter 2 back then. But for this one, we will learn that mo can also be used when you like this person also did the same activity as you did. So, which is this one. You can also use more when there. Okay. You can also use more when there are two or more people performing the same activity, doing the same activity. So for example, the first one, anyone wants to read?
Okay, so I'll try this.
はい、どうぞ。
私は昨日、私は昨日、京都に行きました。
そうそう。私は昨日、京都に行きました。私は昨日、京都に行きました。So 私は昨日 which is just now we learned yesterday. And then 京都 of course is a place name 京都に行きました. So 行きます is the word for to go actually. 行きます。
行きます。
So this one is to go. But since it's in the past tense 行きました so it means like went basically went.
行きません。
So basically this person say I went to Kyoto yesterday. So next one Shazia also read this because it's basically the same. But
Okay, so we have 山下先生も昨日、京都に行きました。
そう。This one is 山下先生も。No worries, no, understandable. 大丈夫だよ。山下先生も昨日京都に行きました。So in this case, they want to say that Yamashita sensei also went to Kyoto. So basically, the same activity that the activity that they did, the same thing would be going to Kyoto, which is this one. So if you want to say two person are going to the same, doing the same activity, you use mo. So in this case, Yamashita sensei mo no Kyoto ni ikimashita.
昨日京都に行きました。
So basically more you want to say Yamashita sensei also went to Kyoto yesterday, or Yamashita sensei went to Kyoto yesterday too. Basically, that is what the meaning of it. It's basically the same like with the chapter 2. We learned the more thingy. And next one is you can also say when people buy something more than two things, but you are basically using the same verb actually at the end. So the thing is you have to make sure it's using the same verb at the end. Only so this one is ikimashita, both of it. So the next one maybe Kaicho dozo. These two.
メアリーさんは靴を買いました。Second one, メアリーさんはカバンも買いました。
So this one is みやりさんは靴を 買いました。そのみやりさんは、カバンを買いました。
So,
そう、みやりさんは靴。What is 靴？
shoes.
そうそうそう。shoes。靴 is shoes を買いました。そう、買います。買います is the present tense for to buy. So this one is 買いました since they're using 買いました, so meaning they bought, basically. Bought. So, and then they want to say that Mary-san bought a shoe, but and then Mary also bought a bag. So you want to say the also part, so you just use more. So, Miyari-san wa kaban. Kaban is, カバン is bag. Actually, bag. カバン
Bag.
も買いました. So Mary bought a shoe and then Mary also bought a bag. So you use mo. So, and then the next one is basically you want to say that they went to like go to the two different places, but basically the verb is the same, which is to go or went in this case. So maybe this one, anyone wants to read?
Oh.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, those are.
So, 私は先週、
Mm.
京都に行きました。大
そうそう。
阪にも行きました。
そうそうそうそう。So this one is 私は先週京都に行きました。And then 大阪にも行きました。So basically, the reason why they can use more even though the places are different is because they are using the same verb at the end, which is to go, or this one in this case is went. So even though it's two different places, you can still use more. So basically, they want to tell. So this one, 私は先週 Why is 先週
Last
I
week.
say last week.
So last week. 先週 is last week. 京都に行きました. So last week I went to Kyoto. And then they will also want to say that last week also like I went to Osaka too. So that's why they use mo. So yes, that is the meaning of to too. So next one maybe 会長どうぞですと。
ロバートさんは、
うん。
これは、土曜日に、
そうそう。
パーティーに、パーティー
そうそう。
パーティーに行きました。
そうそう。This one?
OK。月曜日にもパーティーに行きました。
違う。
日曜日にパーティーを行きました。パーティーに行きました。
そうそうそうそう。そう、ロバートさんは、basically, this one is basically Robert. ロバートさんは、土曜日にパーティーに行きました。And then 日曜日にもパーティーに行きました。So in this one is basically the same thing. So the end of it, this verb they're using is the same, which is when. So that's why you can also use mo, which is to. So ロバートさんは土曜日 which is Saturday. パーティーに行きました。So Robert went to a party on Saturday. And then you want to say that he also went to a party again, but on different date, which is 日曜日. So you can also use more because it's two. The verb is the same. So 日曜日にもパーティーに行きました. So that is how you use more. It's basically just saying also or to actually.
I
So
see.
質問あり
ありません。
大
大丈
more.
夫ですか?
So over here is like more can be used for like basho, right? Basho, which is like place.
Yeah,
Basho
そうそう。
and the
場所。
days, which is any like can be used for also for days and action. Right?
そうそうそう。As long as the action, the verb is the same at the end.
これも買いました。
そうそうそうそう。これも買いました。あれを買いました。これも買いました。You can use it.
Okay.
そうそう。
So action, day.
As long as the
Oh,
action, the verb at the end is the same.
he. Okay.
そうそう。はい。
Oh. Here.
Okay. The
Right.
next one is 1時間。
1時間。
そう、1時間。So 1時間 in this one, it means 1 hour. But basically, for this grammar, is teaching us how to say like how many hours. So the front part 1, you can change it to any numbers. You can just numbers and then just add with 時間。
ほい。
時間。
Oh, hiccups.
So 時間. So if you add numbers and 時間, it'll become like the numbers hours actually. So for example, maybe you want to say 3 hours, then it'll become 3時間. So 3時間 and then 5 hours, 5時間. So
ほい。
そうそうそう。So for example, サプト、シャジュン、どうぞ。
Okay. So we have マリさんはそこで、たけしさんを1時間待ちました。
そうそうそうそう。ミャリーさんはそこでたけしさんを1時間待ちました。待ちました。ちょっと待って。
待ちま
1
した。
時間1時間待ちました。そう。メアリーさんはそこで、そこ is over there。そこで、たけしさんを、たけし、Mary waited, I mean, over there, Mary waited for Takeshi for 1時間。So, 1 hour. 1時間待ちました。待ちました。The word is from 待ちます。待ちます which means to wait.
待ちません。
So,待ちません. So, this one is past tense. So, basically, it's just saying waited. So in this case, Mary waited for Takeshi for an hour in this case. 1時間. Yeah, and you can change it maybe if it's 2 hours, 2時間. Depending on the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So you can just replace the numbers for this one. But you can also say like if you like you're not so sure or like you want to say about or around, then you add ぐらい.
ぐらい。
そうそう、ぐらい。
ぐらいか。
So this one means like this one means about or like around. So ぐらい、何々ぐらい。So どうぞ会長。
はい。私は昨日日本語を3時間ぐらい、勉強しました。
そうそうそうそう。私は昨日日本語3時間 ぐらい勉強しました。勉強しました。そう私は昨日、I yesterday, 日本語 is of course Japanese language. 3時間 is 3 hours. The kanji of, 3 in Japanese is 3, and the 時間 is hours. 3時間, 3 hours. Then if you add gurai, basically you want to say about 3 hours or around 3 hours. So it'll become around or about 3 hours. It will become a rough estimation. And then 勉強しました。勉強する。勉強する which is to study. So this one is 勉強しました. So meaning it's a past tense. Then I studied. Study. 勉強しませんでしたか? So study. So I studied Japanese for about 3 hours yesterday. So you use gurai when you want to do a rough estimation. About or around. So nani gurai. And then if you want to stay about like 1 hour and a half or 2 hour and a half, so basically half. So you just add han at the back. Han, which means half. Or in other words, it's 30 minutes. So for example, this one, anyone wants to read this?
Okay, I will try.
Okay, どうぞ。
昨日7時間半寝ました。
そう。昨日7時間半。7時間半。寝ました。そう。昨日7時間半寝ました。So 7時間、7 is 7 in Japanese, 7. And then 時間 is hours, so 7 hours. And then when they add han, so basically 7 hours and a half. And then 寝ました。寝ました、the word is from 寝ます。寝ます。which is to sleep. Or in this case, 寝ました is a past tense, so it will become slept. So, 寝ました。So, 7時間、昨日7時間半寝ました。I slept for 7.5 hours last night. So, in other words, I slept for 7 hours and 30 minutes last night. So, if you want to say 30 minutes or half an hour, so you just add han at the back. So, han. はい。So far, any questions? 質問ありますか?
Okay.
No worries, Laila.
Can we say like 7時間?
7時間 I rarely hear people say 7時間.
It's a great way to start.
I mean, it actually, I mean, people will understand lah.
Okay.
But it's just, it feels a bit weird lah. People usually use 7時間. 7時間. I mean, there are some people actually use 7時間.
7時間くらい.
So, but it's more like people use 7. So, okay. Next one is たくさん. たくさん. So たくさん actually means a lot. So a lot. And so basically if you want to say like a lot or many lah, basically. A lot or many. A lot or many. So if you want to make a sentence or saying that maybe you took a lot of pictures or maybe you ate a lot of vegetables, so you just add たくさん. So there are two ways of making the sentence. So maybe 会長どうぞ this one. First you read the ちょっと待ってなんてペンが Okay. First you read the above part like this, and then the second one you read the below part like that.
じゃあ、私は京都で写真をたくさん撮りました。
そうそうそう。
below version. 私は京都でたくさん写真を撮りました。
そうそうそうそう。So, this one is 私は多分入らないからちょっと私は京都で then this one is 写真をたくさん this one is 撮りました and this one is たく wait should put up there たくさん写真を撮りました。So 私は京都で at 京都 I and then 写真 is
picture.
Picture.
そうそうそう pictures pictures をたくさん and then 撮りました the word in the form the normal way would be 撮ります which is to take but for this kanji is pictures. So 撮りました is the past tense, so took pictures actually. Took. In this case, took pictures. So you have two ways of like constructing the sentence. First, you can add the noun first, and then you add the particle o, たくさん。撮りました。So if you put the noun first, then you have to add the particle after the noun. So that's why you have to be careful. But if you use the noun later, then you can also use, you can put the taksan at the front first, then the noun and the particle. を取りました。So you can use either way.
ほい。
写真をたくさん撮りました。たくさん写真を撮りました。So basically, at Kyoto, I took a lot of pictures, or many pictures. The next one maybe, Shazrin? どうぞ。
Okay. Oh dear.
Oh no! ちょっと待って。ちょっと待って。
なんだよね。
OK。みんなさい。ちょっと待って。OK。どうぞ。This one. Shazrin, you okay?
Hang on.
うん。大丈夫。
Okay, I'm back. So we have this 野菜をたくさん食べました。And then we have たくさん野菜を食べました。
そう。So first one is okay. So first one is 野菜をたくさん食べました。And then the second one is たくさん野菜を食べました。So 野菜 is in Japanese is what? What is 野菜? I mean in English.
Sire or vegetables.
菜よ vegetables そう。This one is vegetables. Veggie. をたくさん食べました。So 食べました。The dictionary form is 食べます。Not dictionary, the formal. Normal. Present tense. 食べます which is to eat. So this one is the past tense. ました。So you basically become eat.
食べました。
野菜を野菜をたくさん食べました。Or you can also use the second one, which is basically the same one as this one. So たくさん野菜を食べました。So basically, I ate a lot of vegetables. So that is how you use たくさん。そう。質問ありますか？大丈夫ですか？
I wanna ask pasal mo.
So,
I wanna ask about mo for a little while, even
Mo?
though we're already at Taksan.
Okay, okay.
So for
大丈夫。
example, if I were to say, no, you know what? That's actually retarded. Never mind.
What?
Because I was about to say ikimashita or Osaka mo, and I'm like, no. What is that supposed to be? Never mind.
So you have to use the phrase first.
Okay.
Osaka ni mo
Osaka ni
ikimashita.
mo.
So.
Mo ikimashita.
Mo.
Osaka ni.
もう行きました、Osaka
Osaka
に。
ni.
そうそう。It'll be a bit weird because people will like be confused a bit.
I
So,
speak Morse code.
it's Morse code. Hi. Then, any question for this one?
たくさんか。
大丈夫ですか？
たくさん。
大丈夫そうです。
大丈夫ですか？はい。
Is there any noun yang macam taksan?
Noun for taksan?
Is there any noun that works like taksan that can go back and forth?
Noun. Well, rather than nouns, because taksan is something that you are like describing things actually, because a lot is describing that thing lah. So usually instead of noun, it's more to adjectives.
Yeah. How about amari?
Amari is like usually end with the negative form. Amari is like not a lot, or you don't do it frequently. That kind of meaning, amari.
Tabemasen.
So amari tabemasen. That is actually correct. So for example, you want to say you don't eat apples a lot. So amari ringo wo tabemasen. So you always have to end the amari with the verb with negative form if you use amari. So.
Ringo amari.
So. Then we'll go for the last grammar, which is to. To. So to actually can mean two things, which is and with. Actually, to. So it actually connects. First one, it actually connects like two sentences or like two nouns basically. It connects the noun of A and B. So for example, the first one, Chazrin dozo.
Looking at the first sentence example, so we have 日本語と英語を話します。
そう。日本語と英語を話します。So basically you want to connect two nouns. So you want to say and basically. So you just add to in between the nouns. So Nihongo is actually a noun and eigo. Nihongo is Japanese and eigo is English. O hanashimasu. Hanashimasu is to speak actually.
Hanashimasen.
So hanashimasen is like you do not speak. So 日本語と英語を話します。So you use to represent the word and. So I speak Japanese and English.
Espanol.
So, then the second one is habla español. So this one, どうぞ会長。
はい。京都と大阪に行きました。
そう。京都と大阪に行きました。
I almost read 行きましたas Ginko.
Actually, yeah, because this one is the core.
Right.
そう。
I've learned a lot.
京都と大阪に行きました。
行きました。
I'll take
行
the
き
third one.
ました。Huh?
I'll take the third sentence.
Okay. So Kyoto is the noun and Osaka is also a noun. And the ikimashita is basically to ikimasu. Ikimasu means to go. So ikimashita is the past tense of it, since it uses mashita. So basically, it means went. So basically, this sentence is saying, I went to Kyoto and Osaka. So the to represents end. The word end. This one. Okay. Then the last one, Ian, those.
Okay, okay, nanti lah.
ミヤリさんはスーさんと韓国に行きます。
そう。みやりさん。
Okay,
み
okay,
や
okay.
りさんは、スーさんと、oh god. 韓国に行きます。So Mary and next to Hankoku is Korea. Actually.
韓国。
So Hankoku is Korea. And the ikimasu, of course, it means this one, to go. Ikimasu. So basically, you want this sentence, you want to say that Mary will go to Korea with Sue. So that's why you use to, because you can also means with. So Mary-san wa san to Mary with Sue went to Korea. I mean, is going to Korea. Ni ikimasu. So basically, the sentence is saying Mary will go to Korea with Sue. The with. So that is how you actually use to. It means and with. そう。質問ありますか?
Okay, I wanted to ask tadi, cause like over here to works as an and, but then which one is like more versus to? Which is better?
More. Oh, that is actually a good question. To and more. More
Which one?
is So it depends on the context actually. Because for example, if you were to use this sentence, right? 日本語と英語を話します。But if you change it more, then the end, it's more appropriate if you change it to the context of, if you conjugate it to the meaning of to be able to speak.
Oh, 話せる。
そう。
Oh.
Because it means like I can also like Japanese and also English I can speak. So 日本語も英語を話します。So this one, because the particle they use here is not suitable if you use more actually. Because it's like also. So
Okay.
So it depends actually the sentence. The which one is more suitable. So
Okay.
京都にも行きました。そう。For this one actually, this one you can also change it to more, but for me it's more appropriate if you add the ni and then mo, ni mo. 京都も大阪にも行きました。Then it'll be correct. So. It's a bit complicated, that part. It's more to like practicing, I guess, when it comes to conversation. From there, you'll be able to actually memorize and understand better.
I think
How
like
to use
in
more and
bahasa
to.
Melayu, it's like dan and dengan. There's a
So.
time for it. It's instinctual.
Yeah. That is actually, you can relate to that actually. Dan dengan and dengan.
Yeah. Okay.
So. That's the difference.
Okay.
So. Any other question? 大丈夫ですか?
Okay. はい。
And we go to the last part, which is 表現ノート。表現ノート。Which is actually, it means expression notes. 表現 is actually expression. This one. And then note, of course, the katakana of notes. So the first one is X no mae. So usually this one is to describe like when the place is at the front of this place.
Mm.
So, or like it can also means like in terms of across the street from X, actually. Nani nani no mae. Or opposite. It can also means opposite of X. So for example, you want to ask like, McDonald's wa doko desu ka? Then you can say, where is McDonald's? So you can say, McDonald's wa depato no mae desu.
The
So it
pattern.
can mean, yeah, it can mean like it's across the street or like it's the opposite of the department store. So or it can also mean like in front of the department store, but basically it's more to the opposite lah. Opposite of X. So, and you can also sometimes hear X no mukai. So X no mukai. ちょっと待って。X no mukai. X no mukai. So basically X no mukai is also means across actually.
Oh, okay.
Across that place. So
Alright.
or also like opposite of X. So that is X no mukai. Or if it's like, you can also say behind. If it's behind, then you just say X no ushiro. So. Ushiro. X no ushiro. Or you can also, if it's like further away from the street, you can also say X no ura. X no ura. So ura is like behind somewhere, like it's far and it's kinda like hidden kind of image actually. This is more like a image of hidden. It's hidden from the view of like the normal view. So maybe there's a lot of shops, and you know how sometimes there are also shops behind the shop. So you can say like ura, because ura is something that is quite hidden that you can't really see it.
Does ura come from urami?
No, not really.
Hmm?
Actually, I've been thinking of the term uraroji because uraroji, I believe, means alleyway.
Uraroji.
Yes, uraroji.
Tamate. I have to check the dictionary. Tamate. Where's my phone? Uraroji. ちょっと待ってね。はいが遠すぎ。裏路地裏路地裏路地 What is it in English? Alleyway, is it?
Alleyway.
Hi.
路地 or 裏路地路地 I think if it's 路地 itself is also like already like alleyway.
Oh, so like ura
So-
roji is like back at the
So
alleyway.
that's probably
So.
the basis the usage of ura.
So. Ura. Then yeah. Actually like 裏路地 I guess is more like hidden alleyway. But
I guess
if
it
the
makes
word-
sense.
So. And then Roji itself, Roji. It's Roji, which is
But
alleyway.
it's just that does ura come from the word urami?
Urami. Ura. I have to see if it's the same kanji. Ura.
I don't know. It just hits to my head.
It's different kanji actually, so it doesn't come from there.
Okay.
So ura for this one, this ura, actually the kanji is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is ura. But if it's urami, it uses a different kanji, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this one.
And what does that mean?
So this one is more to resentment.
Ooh.
Or like maybe like a grudge. Actually.
Okay, kawaii.
So. Urami. So this one is more like different meaning lah, which is like behind or like hidden, somewhere hidden. So ura. So that's the difference, ura.
So
yes. So you can say X no ura, which is somewhere that is hidden. You can't really see it. So yeah. And then last one is E or A. E or A. So there's a difference between these two actually. E is actually like it means you are shocked. You hear something and you are like a bit shocked. You'll be like, what? You know, what? So basically, it is more to what? Or maybe you're like you are a bit shocked. But if it's then it's more to you remembering something. You remembered something. Suddenly noticed or remembered.
Oh boy, mashita.
So noticed or remembered something.
What? Oh boy, mashita.
Oh no.
Remembered something. So for example, you want to say someone said that I failed the test. Test ni fukuokaku datta yo. Yeah, someone tells you that and you'll be like, like you what? And then you of course you'll be constant, you know. And then if it's then maybe you are going back from school, you're on the way home, and then you'll be like, kaban wasureta. You forgot your bag. So then you use So that's the difference actually. It's something that is just a conversation thing that you do.
Actually, bonus
Zanin.
fact, remember the ura part? Actually, if you look at the
Hmm?
compound kanji uraroji, I can confirm that
Mm-hmm.
the ura in uraroji is similar to the ura that we're seeing right now.
This one, right?
Correct.
So. Then it means it means like a hidden alleyway. So then yes, it'll mean a hidden alleyway. So something that is really, really like at the back of the shop or at a street that you can't really usually go simply like that. So
Because I feel
so
like
so
in
so.
any sort of alleyway, you the first thing we think about is like, oh, we can't see it. It's a secretive place. Normally, check that prasan, you know.
So.
Uraroji.
So yeah, that's it for today's chapter. Then next week we'll go for chapter 4. So it's already 10:31. So as usual, I'll be here for any questions.
Hi.
So so far